Yeah, this lens rocks. Hey, what's up, guys? Back with another video. This is Dylan, and I'm here to talk about the Thypoch 28mm f1.4. Now, this is a bit of a first look, I'll call it. I won't say it's some in-depth review. I've only had it maybe about a week, and haven't shot with it a ton. I will show some photos here in a bit. Now, this is obviously not sponsored. I'm not big enough of a channel yet for that. I purchased this with my own money, and all these thoughts are my own. I was already interested in the brand, as you saw from my other video, for whatever that's worth. So maybe a bit of a bias, but I was already excited about this lens and this brand in general. Now, I've seen it mentioned in passing in other reviews that this brand may be an offshoot of another brand. I believe it's DZO. I don't think that's some huge secret. If it is the case, I'm just going off the PayPal email that was involved. Good chance that it is a sub brand, which is totally fine. You know, they're making cinema glass, and you know, other YouTubers, other professionals are using the DZO stuff, and it's awesome. So I would expect, you know, nothing less from this line. And my time with the lens so far, it's been awesome. I don't think that's some huge secret. If that is the case, I mean, their PayPal email is involved for anyone that orders. So, Thypoch, if that's not the case, feel free to correct me, please. All right. So some first impressions after finally getting it in hand. The design is beautiful in person. It's very well made, and the Alpha Kern reference for the focus scale is awesome to use. All right, to quickly go over the specs, this lens is 28mm f1.4, 11 elements in 7 groups. Closest focusing distance is 0.4 meters. It weighs 330 grams. It has a 49mm filter thread, which I've kept a black pro mist filter on the whole time I've used it. Just want my lenses to basically live with a filter, at least have some coverage on the elements, because I want to keep them long term. And as I said, I haven't had a ton of time to go out and shoot with it. I will show you some images from one day out I had with it this past weekend. And here's those images now. So some impressions from shooting with it. On my setup, I have it set up with a close focus adapter. I will say in general, just trying to nail subjects from further away. You know, I'm still pretty new to like strictly manual focus and getting used to zone focusing and that kind of stuff. I would say like f4, 5.6, like pretty easy to hit. If you want to open it wider, usually has to be a slower subject, at least for me right now. Obviously, that will come with time, and you'll be able to nail subjects faster. But any subject that is not moving, or if you can kind of take your time with it, it's pretty easy to hit even at 1.4. The close focus, I will say, with the adapter, it's actually a little weird when you shift from 0.7 to 0.4. I don't know if that's just me and getting used to it, but for how shallow it gets and how close you can focus with it, it actually a little bit weird in that jump. That's something kind of odd that I noticed, but like I said, that might just be user error. It might just be me, but it's something to get used to, at least with the close focus adapter. Other impressions, the bokeh on this lens is awesome. You know, even if you stop it down a little bit, the 14 aperture blades keeps it round basically the whole way through as far as I can see. I haven't done, you know, some wall tests or whatever, but I shot a couple of these images just to get an idea for the close focus, and they're not great images, but just to show you the bokeh. One of the main things I'm loving about this setup, and you know, leaning into manual focus lenses more, is really the tactility and, you know, having to move and shift dials. It does make you kind of focus more and disciplines you a little more. You can't just rely on AI autofocus at 1.4 to just track everything for you. So it makes you stop down when you maybe wouldn't have before, which I'm personally enjoying, and it's making photography more enjoyable for me. Obviously, there are situations when you need AF or you want AF. If you're doing any professional work, something that you can't really risk, even if you're awesome with manual focus, just use AF. Use the right tool for the job. But everyday shooting and going out, taking, I guess, street photos and just everyday life, I'm loving the manual focus stuff. And this lens does not disappoint in that regard. The aperture clicks sound wonderful. You can declick it for video. I'm not really using it for video currently. The focus is smooth and every ring on it, all the knurls, the kind of ribbing design, um, it all feels wonderful and it's great to use. Really, the only issue I've had regarding this lens actually came down to the order experience. Now, it's not the end of the world. It's, kind of has to do with expectations and whether or not you're patient. Their official store, directly from them, is not exactly set up yet. They are focusing on supplying to retailers first. Not going to bite Thypoch's head off for it. But I would recommend, if you want to get this lens, look to B&H, look to other retailers online, not directly from their store just yet. So that's going to wrap up this first look and some first impressions from me on the Thypoch 28mm. Honestly, it's so good. It has me interested in the 35. I know that kind of goes against my lens theory craft. And I'm not going to do it anytime soon, but that would also be an awesome lens. It's kind of a one and done, only carry one lens with you kind of thing. I'm going to stick to the 28 and 50 and avoid gas currently. Other good news, Thypoch is working on releasing a 50mm f2, and that would be a good maybe a competitor or something to get instead of the Elcan in my case. I already got the Elcan. It rocks. I don't need anything else, but it's exciting to see Thypoch putting out more stuff, and hope for a 90mm eventually. Or if they ever want to send out the 50, I would happily try that, as well as the 35. But they're an awesome company. I like what they're doing. So again, take these first impressions or a future review with maybe a grain of salt. I'm already excited about the brand. So if you think that it's clouding my judgment in any way, that is up to you. I will likely do a future review when I've had more time with it, something more in depth. Let me know if you guys have any other questions on this lens or if there's anything I didn't cover. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Like, subscribe, do all the YouTuber stuff, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Later.